Hey there! Every month, Annie has a call with our Path 365 members and answers their questions. She tackles a wide range of topics from what to do with big emotions, what kinds of tips and advice she has for addressing difficult situations, how to deal with cravings, and so much more. Listen in as she does some real life coaching for our Path members.
I don't know how to get past, it's my birthday, let's go out drinking, or it's an event, a couple of glasses of wine will be okay. A girl's overnight with alcohol to check out because we're hardworking moms. This week is Detroit Tigers opening day. It's a really big day and it's an all-day driving event and I can't imagine going without drinking. So what do? I drink on Sundays or in social gatherings. My husband thinks drinking is the best thing ever. And when I drink, it is to excess. So I really want to get through this week's party without any drinking. I have to pick up my kids ever. And last year I passed out and missed half the day. Any coaching or help would be awesome. So first of all, what we do in the pause, so you all are at different stages of the journey, which is really beautiful. My daughter goes to a Montessori school and it's a mixed age classroom. And I absolutely love that because when you can connect to people who are a little bit ahead of you or hear stories from people who are, a little younger in her case, it really rounds out sort of a learning experience, which is why one of the reasons we've done it this way, but in her journey. And that's why I wanted to ask, but if it was in the early days, I would actually really still recommend being in what we call the pause. And if you're brand new, you will get lots of information about the pause, but the pause is basically the first few months we ask you to stop trying to stop and just get radically curious without judgment about your own behavior. And I know it can sound terrifying and scary because you're like, how do I even do that? I signed up for this to change my drinking and you're telling me not to change your behavior. This naked mind, and I'm going to go a little sciencey on you for a second, but the reason that this naked mind is so incredibly successful is because it's what's called a second order change. And a second order change means it's an approach that's outside the existing paradigm. So the existing paradigm when it comes to habit or addiction or behavior change is to change the behavior. And that's, and you can see if we're saying, okay, we have to solve this problem by changing the behavior, we're relatively limited in our approach. What can we do? We can stop, we can drink less, we make behavior modifications. But if we don't make thinking modifications or emotional modifications, in addition to those behavior modifications, the behavior modifications fall flat, which is why, most recovery methods have a very, very low single-digit success rate. And most New Year's resolutions last for 19 days until January 19th. It's the same thing because there's very limited things you can do, which is doing it or not doing it. There's something deeper that drives your behavior, and that's your emotion, which comes from your beliefs. And some of those beliefs are subconscious. And so when we are thinking about something like, how do I not drink at this game? What really is going on there, or how do I not drink on this mom's weekend, or how do I not drink in this situation? How do I not drink when my husband loves drinking? All of the things that so well articulated. What really is going on there is we have beliefs that are actually causing the desire to drink. It's not our circumstance. It's not the fact, like you could take me to a mom's week when everybody's drinking. You could take me to a tailgate game. I would have super fun. You could take me out to a club, right? And if you have been in the path for a long time, or maybe you've had kind of this mindset shift, you could chime in the comments or even our coaches and just affirm that that's true once it kind of has happened, because your circumstances will no longer matter when you've addressed the root cause of what's going on with your thinking and your beliefs. And so when we're in the pause, which is what we highly recommend at the beginning of the path, you have an opportunity to look at your own thinking in those moments of the day, right? So you're driving to the game and you're like, what am I thinking? What am I believing? Maybe I'll feel left out. Everybody else will be having more fun. It's going to be boring. I actually don't really like to be here. I will feel deprived, all of these things. And then those are the things that we will unwind systematically throughout the path, both through the content and the coaching calls. And when that happens, you can put yourself in any situation and you're not going to have that same sort of attachment to alcohol. Now, I will say, and we talk a lot about this near the end of the path, that after you are sort of, in a groove with all of this, you have these firsts. And the first can pop up at any point in time. So the first can pop up a year down the road, 2 years down the road. All of a sudden, I'm at my first wedding. I've never been to a wedding before, but I've been alcohol-free. Guess what happens? That circumstance triggers thoughts and beliefs that keep me stuck. And I don't have to choose to be stuck, but all of a sudden I'm going to feel like, oh my gosh, it's been 2 years. I can't believe I'm having a craving. This is ridiculous. I thought I was over this. And we judge ourselves because that's what we do as humans naturally. But then we catch the judgment because you've learned those tools in this program. And you say, okay, well, what am I believing here? And then you use what you'll learn kind of further on, the ACT technique. And that's a little later, but you'll use that to unwind for yourself those specific beliefs. Or you'll bring it to a coaching call, or you'll join us in Live Naked, which is our continuation program after the path, should you want to. And then you have constant coaching calls with the ACT technique. And whatever you end up doing, that ends up being like you unwind those in the moment. But when you feel so overwhelmed about the idea of not drinking at all events, it's because you're just really still in it, because you haven't had any unwinding or rewiring of all that thinking. And so that's why I just recommend the pause. Now, I really want to get through this one big party without drinking. The pause can be done with or without drinking, because what the pause is becoming curiously aware without judgment of your thoughts. It is leaning into, it's becoming an investigator in your own mind and putting the magnifying glass up and saying, what is going on under the surface? What am I thinking and believing that is going to lead me to drinking? And so you can do that investigation and not drink if you have a big thing going on with your kids. And guess what's going to come up? You not drinking in a triggering situation is a gold mine. Guess what's going to come up? But if you just make yourself wrong, if you just hate yourself, if you avoid going, boom, what else is coming up is you just judge yourself. And guess what cannot exist at the same time? Curiosity and judgment. Because a judgment is saying, I already know. I already know I'm wrong. I already know I'm just broken. I'm never, it's always going to be this way. I'm always going to want to drink. This is hopeless. You've decided. But curiosity is like, okay, I really want to drink right now. This is really painful for me not to drink. What is going on? What is happening? What is, really going on inside of me? So that is how I would sort of answer that. And hopefully that's super, helpful.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to see how This Naked Mind can help you on your personal health and wellness journey and want to learn more, go to thisnakedmindpodcast.com to learn what your next best step is. Again, that's thisnakedmindpodcast.com. We have all of our free resources, programs, social links, and more available for you there. Plus, if you have your own naked life story to share, you can submit it there as well. Until next week, stay curious.